Welcome to the fitness podcast Beyond the Workout, featuring your host, Coach E, where we give you health and fitness tips that go beyond the gym and help you along your fitness journey. So stay tuned and enjoy the show. Thank you for your interest in this podcast, Beyond the Workout. As a disclaimer, anything you hear in this show from me, Coach E, Eric Dunstan, or any of my guests that is related to health, exercise, nutrition is just that. It's information only. What works specifically for you has to be thoroughly evaluated and checked by a professional, either your physician or a professional personal trainer. Okay, enjoy the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another show of Beyond the Workout. It is me, Coach E, Eric Dunstan, bringing hopefully a show that will be of utmost benefit to you. In fact, depending on when you're listening to this show, I wanted to tell you about what I started based on the previous show you might have heard that spoke about a an ingredient that is in about 99% of the foods we eat, especially those foods that are on the shelves in cans, in boxes, and our seasonings and sauces, or mostly our sauces. Some of your basic seasonings won't have it, but um, it was called natural flavor. Now, in the previous show, you heard a clip from another podcast of a functional medicine doctor speaking of natural flavor being one of the most evil ingredients in our diet. So I thought about how I have been feeling when I eat certain foods, and when you do a an elimination diet, you take something out and see how you feel, and then you bring it back in and see if there's a difference. So usually you do it for like 3 weeks. You take a particular ingredient, let's just say sugar, out of your diet, and in this case, added sugars, because you can have natural sugars. So if you didn't have anything with excess sugar in it, you started to feel better, and then you bring that in, and some of the symptoms you had for not feeling well could be lightheadedness, could be congestion, but it could be any ingredient that would cause that. Um, you would bring that back in. You'll take it out for like 3 weeks, bring it back in, and then see if you have an allergic reaction to it. And so after listening to that, or recording this show and listening to the other show that someone did, and doing my own research, looking up natural flavor, I decided I'm going to do a challenge, a personal challenge, and I called it NSNF30. And I started it December 1st, and NSNF30 means no sugar, which is added sugar, natural flavor for 30 days. So no added sugars or no natural flavor, anything with natural flavor in it for 30 days. And so at the time that you're listening to this, um, it depends on what day you're listening to it, but I'm about 10 days in. So it's been great. I've been feeling great. I want to make it to the end. And in fact, I don't have to go to the end of the month, because I actually started it approximately 3 days before the first. So I started early, but I want to get all 30 days in just to see how I feel and see what the result is. And in fact, by me doing that, that added, taking out that added sugar and that natural flavor, meaning I don't eat the ultra processed foods, I actually made it to the weight that I was before I was married. So did I say that right? So I made it to the weight that I was when I was in my 20s. My goal was to get to 200 pounds. Then I said, okay, if I get to 200 pounds, I want to get to 196. That's what I weighed. And I felt great at that weight when I was younger. So um, here's a picture. Look at this picture. That's my weight. See that picture right there? I got to 195.2. I still have to work on other things like body fat, but my visceral fat was down. My body fat percentage went down, but I wanted to get to that weight, and then I'm gonna work on building muscle after that. So I just wanted to mention that. I was trying to be brief about it because I wanted to talk about the challenge that I'm putting upon myself. Ooh, just twisted my words here, and I feel great about it. We're gonna see what it's like after another 10 days, and then another 10 days after that. So I got to go about another 20 days to really see what effect it has on me, and then see if I bring it back in my diet. I might not. So it's been great, but I think I will. I'm not going to be that strict. Um, anyway, I wanted to go from that just to tell you about the little challenge I'm doing, and then mention something that I read in the AARP paper. So yeah, I get the AARP magazine, AARP paper, and I'm a member of AARP, and that's okay. That's okay. Once you hit 50 or that 49, when you get 49 years old, they're going to start soliciting you for a membership. And hey, go ahead, sign up or get their paper and read some of the good things that they put in there. So, what AARP in this particular paper, and you might have it, it was talking about super-agers. Now, super-agers, they talk about how it could be genetic, where their brains are just still sharp, like when they were young. Uh, they can think quick on their feet. Their brain don't have that shrinkage, as they say. They don't have that uh, loss of memory. Um, what people claim happens when you get older. So one of the things that we can't control is if it's genetic, we can't change our genetic makeup. So if we're not a super ager, what are some of the things that could help us that they do or some other super agers have done? So super agers are those who are in their 80s and 90s and still sharp. I failed to say that, but what about us who are 50, 60, and 70-year olds who feel like we're slowing down a little bit? Um, I wanted to uh, go to that point of 7 things that it mentions that they do, the 7 secrets of super agers that help them to be that, to be sharp. And so I wrote it down here. I have my notes here, and I just wanted to briefly run over these 7 things to give you something to think about, to examine what you do in your everyday life. So the number one thing it mentioned was they control their blood sugar, their blood pressure. And of course, because of their age, decline in their physical abilities, or their body just getting old, some of them do it by medicine, but they say a lot of them do it by diet. So it's what they eat. They eat their whole grains, their veggies, their leafy greens, their nuts, their berries, and their fish. And they don't eat that much red meat. So now I wanted to add, I love red meat. I have pivoted to eating grass fed beef now. It's a little bit expensive, but hey, it's worth it. Your health is worth it. But I'm not eating as much during the week as I did previously because I don't want to go red meat all the time. I want to mix it up. I've now added lean meat like chicken breast, and fish is now in my diet. The white fish and the fatty fish, like salmon, which is good. So if you do have red meat, pair it up with a lot of vegetables. Use your dark green leafy vegetables, your cruciferous vegetables, your with your broccoli and things like that. Try to avoid the starchy foods, your grains. Don't eat too much of that. Very minimal, if any. So that has been one thing that has helped me with my weight loss is minimizing the sugar, the starches, and the flours and so forth. So number two, which is nice. It says that they talk to their friends often, that they connect daily with friends and family, which is healthy for their social life. Now, I want you to think about this for a moment. They connect with their friends and family, not meaning on social media. It's not sending a message here and there. They actually talk. You might get on the phone. You might go meet in person. You might do something together. That's exactly what they do for their health. So why not get together with a friend? You can FaceTime now, friends. You can Zoom call friends. Just do that and and see how to help your mental health and your brain growth and to be a super ager. Who knows? The third thing it mentions that they avoid stress. Some of them get therapy. It's okay. Some of us need it, and even medicines help. But the one thing I wanted to add as a personal thing that I do as a coach, and I would encourage anybody to do it, is box breathing. Now, box breathing can be a moment where you're quiet, right? You have your silence, you meditate, and you could just go into silence and listen to your breathing, and you'll feel so much relax your relaxation. You would feel yourself calming down. If you feel stressful, you'll feel yourself easing up and relaxing and feeling well. And it's just box breathing is where you inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, and then hold for 4 seconds. And you just do that with your eyes closed, the room quiet. If you have to have earplugs or noise canceling headphones, do that. It really feels good and it really helps you to de-stress. So that's what a super ager do. They avoid stress. And number four, it says they prioritize sleep. But note this point about prioritizing sleep. It was a 2022 Canadian study found that if you have trouble falling or staying asleep 3 or more nights per week for 3 months, it says it boosted the risk for worsening memory in older adults. So, what does that mean? Go to sleep, get restful sleep every night. Don't go and say, well, I get a few nights that I sleep well. And now it's 3 months later, and you're still in that pattern. No, it's saying the study is saying your memory will get worse. It'll decline. So sleep should be prioritized. And number five, they protect their vision and hearing. So truly avoid loud sounds, irritating light. Protect those senses that you should be proud of having, even as you get older. So the studies they cite say those older adults that used hearing aids showed thinking and memory losses that were 48% slower compared to those that did. So make sure you have good hearing. It can save your brain. That's important. And another study they mentioned from 2021 says treating poor vision could have prevented. Now look, listen to this. Could have prevented 100,000 current cases of dementia in the U.S. That's an astounding number. So let's protect our vision. Wear your glasses, wear your contacts. Make sure you have good vision. Then number six is that they exercise. Now, a lot of people look at exercise as a bad word. No, the kind of exercise that they do is gardening, walking briskly daily, climbing stairs. So they push themselves physically. They prioritize exercise. They get it in every day. So go for that walk. If you come home and you want to go for a quick walk, go do it, but walk fast. If you walking and you see some stairs, walk up those stairs, walk down those stairs. See a hill, climb that hill. Don't dread it. And you know, allow your body to work hard. You don't have to be exhausting. It just has to feel invigorating. And so I think you can do it. It doesn't matter what your age is. Just give that a shot. That's a good point. So, the last thing, number seven, is they engage their brains. So, their brain is engaged through puzzles, travel, reading, attending lectures, concerts. In other words, they're not sedentary. They get out, they get up from that TV, they get moving. Why don't you do that? Get up and go know your community, know your state, know your country, go know another country. Not know everything, but just go see things. Get out there and let your brain absorb all that can be learned. So that's what I wanted to kind of encourage my older folks to do, which I am one of them. I'm your contemporary. If you're 50, 60, I'm not at 70, but I'm closing in. I'm almost 60, but I'm a push for that number, being 70, and I want to be healthy when I'm 70 years old. So I wanted to mention that, and I wanted to mention my challenge. And then the last thing I wanted to mention to you all is I kind of wanted to do a little coaching call right now to kind of get you invigorated to start thinking about your health a little bit more, to push for a healthy lifestyle. But as a coach, I want to let you know I can only encourage you. The motivation has to come from within, but I want you to look at the importance of being healthy in view of percentage of the value, the worth of what you do for your health. And so what I mean, you want to do a 100% of whatever you do for your health. You want to do 100%. But when it comes to the breakdown of the three things you can do, the first one I would mention is only 2% of working on your health. And 2% is exercise. Exercise is 2% of your whole regimen for uh, getting fit and healthy. A lot of people put that first and they put a lot of effort in it. But, 2%, uh, meaning you don't have to work out or exercise for an hour each day. You move each day, but let's just say you did um, some things like walking and resistance training. Let's say you do resistance training three days a week. That's what I would recommend, 3 days a week. And some of the basic exercises I would recommend are working on your legs, doing a form of squats. Um, that squats work your whole lower half from your hips down. You can do back rows. You just take dumbbells and row them for like 2 or 3 sets, 3 times a week, because the row will work your back and your biceps and your forearms as well. And then I would do a set of bench presses. Some of you can lie on the floor and do your bench presses. Just use weight. You can do push ups. And basically, that's all you will need because the bench press works your chest, your shoulders, and your triceps. And after that, if you did like 2 to 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps of all that, like on a Monday, and then take a break on a Tuesday, then a Wednesday, do it again, and take a break, and then Thursday, do it again. Um, 3 times a week, that's your 2% effort. And it might take you 15 minutes to get it done. Because what I want you to end with on that to get your core is some planks. And maybe you say, I can't get on the floor to do a plank. You can try. The goal is to try to do 1 to 2 sets of 30-second planks, no longer than 30 seconds, and get up and go about your day. You can do this in the morning, which probably will probably be better, or you can wait till the afternoon or evening. but morning is probably better. So exercise is just 2% of your overall health routine. The next one is 18%, and I categorize that one as sleep. So sleep, I mentioned I had it in the show when I talk about prioritizing your sleep, focusing on your sleep. It's vital. It's very important because you just heard what I mentioned about the study that was done about memory loss. If you don't get, if you get 3 days or more of not good sleep for 3 months. So in a previous show, I mentioned no electronics 1 hour before bed. Don't have bright lights on or listen to anything that can stir your emotions, violent news, anything that could be bad, can keep your mind racing. You might can listen to some comforting, easy music, meditate, do your box breathing, read a book that's not over the top that can help relax you. Just wind down, make sure your room is cool, make sure it's dark, and that's how you wind down for the night to go to bed, go to sleep. But in the same show, I mentioned about your circadian rhythm. You wake up to bright lights. If you can go outside, go outside. Let that natural light hit your eyes for 10 minutes. If it's too dark when you go out, turn on the bright lights in your house. Turn on all the lights in your house. Wake up to that, and you're going to start to reset your circadian rhythm. It might take weeks, it might take months, but you'll feel your body get into that rhythm. You'll go to sleep at the same time, and you'll wake at the same time, and eventually you won't need an alarm. So then, if if sleep is 18% and exercise is 2%, that totals 20%. And I mentioned there's just three things you need to do. So what's the last thing? What is 80% of your overall health and wellness routine? Well, it's going to be your nutrition. That is going to be 80%. So I'm gonna just recommend that why don't you prioritize eating whole foods, cooking your own foods, um, uh, making sure they're healthy, eat lots of vegetables, cut out ultra processed or yeah, ultra processed foods. Those little chips and crackers and Cheez Its and all of that stuff, or whatever those ultra processed foods that are on those shelves down the grocery aisle. Why don't you try taking that out your diet and see how you feel? In fact, why don't you try this challenge I'm doing for 2 weeks? See if you could do it for 2 weeks or 10 days or 1 week. Remember, I said it's the NSNF. So what you would do is you would, when you purchase something, it could be a sauce, it could be a dry good, it could even be fresh food product. In fact, I like to eat sausages, and um, they all say they have natural flavor in it, so I avoid it. So do your research on natural flavor, and then you might come to the conclusion that you want to try this challenge. But look for anything that says added sugar and don't consume it. Try it. Try to challenge yourself with that. Then look for something if it has natural flavor and avoid it. See if you can do this. So this challenge is challenging because I can't go eat out because what they put in their sauce more than likely have natural flavoring and added sugars. So I can't do it. I want to, but I can't because I want to make sure I can get through this challenge. So I want you to consider your mission to be a better you. Don't have that fear of missing out. Just think about the missed opportunity for a better self if you don't try to prioritize your health routine, your 2%, getting your exercise in on a regular basis, making sure you prioritize your sleep, and also making sure your nutrition is top notch. Eat tons of vegetables. I mean, tons of vegetables. Get good um, desserts, which is fresh fruit. I consume bananas now. I consume organic apples. I avoid non organic apples. I consume organic berries. That's my dessert. If I have a meal and I want something sweet, that's what I'm eating because I'm going to do this challenge. So I just wanted to come on here and encourage you all to do the same. I hope you found something beneficial in this. Um, I hope I can always be an inspiration to you trying to make your goals and thinking beyond the workout because the workout is just it. It's a one and done because there's always another one coming up. You can't redo the one you just did, but you can always prioritize your health outside of lifting weights, outside of walking, outside of cardio, aerobic training. Prioritize your sleep, prioritize your nutrition. You can do this. Say you can do this. Say it's possible to do this. Finally, reach your goal. Make it happen. All right. I want you to know that Coach E cares about you. I want you to make 2024 something that you're going to accomplish and do more, especially for your health. So I just wanted to share this and ask that if you want to sit down and chat, reach out to me at ericdunston.com. I love to see what your your needs are, your goals are, and maybe we can work together. Let me know. I hope you enjoyed this show. I look forward to the next one. Coach E signing out.